All right, so this is the second edition of the Sideline session. We got another guest on the show today. We got our buddy Jesse. He's got an upcoming fight this weekend that we wanted to talk to you with you a little bit about. We're excited to see it and wanted to talk with you and see what your thoughts were. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
All right, well, July 31st at the Melot Center in Gretna, Louisiana, I'll be fighting, have a mixed martial arts fight against one Terrence Freeman. I actually fought him back in 2017. I won via rear naked choke with I don't know, 15, maybe 10 seconds left in the fight.
I think I was there.
Yeah,
That was your first fight?
Yeah, that was my first one.
Okay.
And yeah, there was a little bit of some shuffling around going on with opponents, and they asked him like, "Hey, Jesse's available. Do you want to fight him?" And he said, "Let's run it back." And I said, "That's my man. Let's do it."
So he's out for payback.
He might be.
And he's taking this fight on short notice, or
No. We both had a full camp.
Okay.
He was actually ready to fight on that card as well. Just between a little bit of politics and a little bit of some injuries took a few fighters off that card. In fact, when you look at the poster, there's 1, 2, 3 fighters. They're not gonna be there that night. Take them off the poster.
Yeah.
Put me on it. It took them forever to get me on the poster.
Yeah, I didn't see you on it. Well, I think I saw you on one.
Yeah, the most recent one has me in like the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
So I am on there.
So what time is everybody getting there? Like what time does the fight start?
The doors open at 6. First fight starts at 7:30, I believe. If anyone's trying to get tickets like at the door, you can pretty much expect that they're going to sell out because at this point, I think they have sold 4 times as many tickets as they have for their biggest event up until now.
I think I've been to a fight at this place and it was packed to the gills.
Yeah, the first time, that fight that you were talking about, the first time I was with Terrence, it was packed and it was hot as hell. The second time, they're like, "Oh, maybe we should run the AC." So they actually ran the AC, and I was in the back freezing.
so you say you fought? He's your first ever fight.
Yeah, he was my first MMA fight.
How much have you progressed since your first fight? Like, what have you most added to your game, and how would you describe what is the biggest strength of your fighting style?
Well, back when I first fought him, I would have to admit my striking was very amateurish. My whole game plan was 1-2, just tackling.
This was a couple of years ago too, right?
2017.
Okay, so this was a while back.
Yes.
So you stepped in the ring at that point 2 years ago, the first fight, Jesse, and you're like, I'm gonna take him. I'm trying to take him down.
Yeah, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. That was my first love when it came to martial arts. It's gonna be my last love too. I'll do that till the day I die. Even when I hang up the gloves. But I knew that I'm stronger than this guy. I'm tougher than this guy. If I can just get him to the ground.
Yeah.
And he surprised me back then because he was squirrely enough to get up from the ground. I'm like, why is he not down here with me anymore? It was driving me nuts.
Well, that could be because it was so hot, and when you're sweaty, it's probably harder.
Yeah, you just slipped right there.
Yeah, exactly. So the AC might actually have a bigger impact than you think on the fight.
So you think your striking has improved since
Oh,
then?
definitely, immensely.
Are you looking to go to the ground?
Yeah, is your mindset still the same to where you're still trying to, or are you trying to hit him a couple of times first?
I would definitely like to stand up with him for a while. If
there's punches, that's what
yeah,
we
man,
like to
it's
say.
gonna be.
That's what we like to say.
No, I've got some things kind of loaded in my back pocket for him. Very very confident about what we've been working on in this camp, and very confident about the level of work we put in this camp. So.
And have you watched him recently? Do you think he's improved a good bit since the?
Yeah, we've done some watching on the tape. We've had him come in to our gym before. He's come into Apex, and he sparred with us. I don't think I was there at that time. I might have been on my little hiatus because right around COVID, I actually didn't even realize when we actually reopened. So I'm calling people one day like, "Hey man, when are we gonna open up the gym? Dude, we've been open for like a few months now. Where are you?" What?
So this is your first fight post COVID.
Yeah.
You got a full camp.
there were options to fight during COVID because I mean they were still holding fights in Biloxi, and
Right.
it's actually a very nice venue out there for MMA. It's just I didn't really feel like driving to Mississippi to pay to fight.
Yeah.
At an amateur level, if you don't have some kind of kickback, whether it's incentive bonuses like fight of the night, submission of the night, knockout, blah blah blah, or in my current case, they gave me a bunch of tickets. I sell the tickets, I get a commission off that.
Gotcha.
You know, otherwise you can't pay amateurs to fight. They're not amateurs anymore.
Right.
So
That makes a lot of sense. So I mean,
yeah, I wasn't about to pay to go to Mississippi to fight, get another set of stitches, come back.
so what's going through your head when you first step into the cage? Like, where's your mindset at that point in time?
It varies, man. Someone actually just recently asked me, how do I even sleep knowing I'm going to fight someone
Yeah, you're about to go
in
to
the
war.
future? And my answer was like a baby. I'm so very at peace with what's about to happen. You know, like I said, whether we stay on our feet, whether I take it to the ground and, you know, skew this kind of in my favor, it doesn't really matter to me what's going to happen tomorrow. Knowing that I have an opponent, knowing I have a fight, knowing who it is, all those things, they really kind of center me. I'm so zen when I walk
So
out
you
there.
feel pretty comfortable.
I'm very comfortable. The only surreal part is when they lock that cage door. Whether I'm the first or second person out, the second they lock that door, like it hits you like a brick to the face. Oh, this is real. And
Little reality hits.
like you feel like there's some kind of build up, like you see in the UFC. All right, both fighters to the center. You know, they give you the rundown, touch glove if you wanna. You go back to. No, it's not like that in real life. It's not like that in every organization.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come out. You ready? You ready? Fight! And like, wait, we're not doing the thing. No, you fight.
It's time. Yeah, you ain't got no Bruce Buffer like pumping it.
They're gonna give the announcements like in this corner we have so and so, this corner we have so and so. Ref comes out. Ready? Get it.
Yeah,
So that's
get
what's
it
up.
on.
So that's Friday, right?
Saturday. Friday's the
Saturday.
weigh-ins.
Okay.
Friday is actually the most antagonizing and miserable day of my life every single
Well,
time.
yeah. So how?
That's when you gotta cut down the weight and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you began a cut yet?
Oh
or-
yeah, I've been on the cut.
Okay.
I'm actually right where I need to be. Weighed myself last night.
That's good.
You know, and it's about maintaining this weight until Friday.
Right.
Friday, it's a little abusive. Make sure I cut the last of the water weight. It's not so terrible. It's gonna be a pretty easy cut this time.
And then after you weigh in, what do you just eat everything?
I pull my backpack out and there's a picnic inside, and I eat all the things. And
So you're weighing in a lot heavier.
Oh, no, not
Well, when he
heavy.
steps in the
You're
cage, he's
fighting
way
a lot
heavier.
heavier than
Oh
you're
yeah, I
weighing.
mean, like I wouldn't say a lot heavier.
Yeah,
I
a few
mean,
pounds.
you know,
Especially if you're like a grappler, you're trying to get a little weight back on for sure.
yeah. It's nice to be a heavier guy whenever you're a ground.
You can just lay on top of him. That's more weight harder to get up for him.
Believe it or not, it's not so much about laying on top of them. Controlling where your weight is a huge thing. Like, you know, if you have inside control, I want all my weight on my chest so that I can pin his chest to the ground and he can't get out of that. You know, and just making sure my hips stay in a dominant position, because it's a lot of hips. There's a lot of control that goes on there.
I can see that.
You know, turning his hips is going to be a big point of emphasis if we get to the ground. That way, he's going to have a very hard time getting up. You know, either that or do like last time, get him in that body triangle again.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can come out victorious and we'll be able to celebrate after. But
Yeah, I'm definitely going to celebrate.
either way,
One way or the other.
Either
Man. Buying tickets to the Shipwreck concert at White Sands in Harriet.
not
It's
positive.
where Bobby plays volleyball.
So we got a fight Saturday
that's
night
okay.
with
Yeah.
Shipwrecked after party.
Yeah, Shipwreck. I don't know if I'm buying like a VIP or a normal ticket. I think the VIP just comes with like expedited entry and like kiddie pools.
Okay,
But
so we'll look out for that. But
either way,
we're
it's
excited to
EDM
come.
party and I'm about that.
We're excited to come check out. But we wanted to ask you, since we got you here, this is a sports-related podcast.
Yeah.
We want to talk a little bit about the Saints, so we're just going to ask you off top. Jameis, Taysom. Who you got?
Let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna throw my hand in there. I'm definitely gonna say Taysom if we're going just between Winston and Taysom, and have just kind of putting Ian Book in the background. But just kind of historically thinking, like, I wouldn't mind throwing Ian in there like halfway through the season just to see, because quite frankly,
So over Taysom and Jameis? Is what you're saying?
Well,
You're going for the third option?
No. I mean, like, we're definitely gonna have to see
I
how.
don't think his name's in the mix right now.
I feel like they drafted Ian Book to kind of so that Taysom can really focus on quarterback, because I feel like Ian Book can do a lot of the same things.
I don't think his name is even in the mix.
Well, I mean, if we're not doing great this season and we kind of end up in that spot where we're not in the playoffs, I think we're still definitely a playoff team. But
you think we're a playoff team right now?
Yes.
The way the roster is constructed?
Yes.
I don't know, bro. We don't even have any wide receivers.
Well, I mean, we did just sign Chris Hogan last night.
Yeah.
They took him from a he was about to go play rugby, and they stole him from it. They could pay him more than the rugby league can play.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't really a sought after guy. This dude was about to not even be in the league.
Drive. I mean, rugby,